coming in the house. So we got.
Dang, look at this dude.
All right.
Straight out of Hawaii.
Congratulations on being match for you, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
What's up, Chris? What's up, James? How you doing, man?
Straight out of Hawaii. What's up, my brother? How you doing,
bro? Came by to show you guys the straps. This everyone's in the valley, man.
This is the only time I'm.
That's for all the valley fighters, you know what I mean? I just want to represent, show them that anyone must whoop the butt.
Look at that. That's beautiful, brother. That's beautiful, man. Have a seat, my brother.
All right, take your seat.
Have my seat, but not my beer.
All right. Where's McGregor's whiskey at? That's what I was waiting for.
Yeah. How about that McGregor conference yesterday, boys?
Yeah, that was crazy.
What do you think about that?
It's McGregor being McGregor.
Yeah, you know, I figured he'd go out there and carry the whole thing, and that's what he did, you know. So, like, he could have literally showed up by himself with a microphone and just...
He looked lost out there.
He looked a little shook, you know what I mean? Yeah, he kind of got it in his head, man. But
hey, how was Hawaii, man?
It was crazy.
Tell us about it, bro.
Oh, man. Well,
this dude just fought in Hawaii.
Yeah, so, well, let me start from the beginning.
Please.
So, you know, about 5 weeks out before the fight, you know, I got a Instagram message. You know, everyone communicates through social media now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was the promoter asking me, he's like, hey, you know, Sergio, I seen you fight at the Palace. You know, that's a good thing about the Palace streaming their fights is look what happened, you know what I mean? I seen you fight out there, man. You're a gamer. You'd be like someone that we'd like to have on our show. I was like, yeah, heck yeah. You know what I mean? Hawaii. You know what I mean? I'll do for whatever.
Just got married.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Use it as a kind of like a honeymoon.
Hell yeah.
And they said, well, we don't have an opponent yet, you know, but we like your style of fighting. You know what I mean?
So the belt was vacant?
The belt was someone they already had it, but I didn't know that I was gonna be fighting for the belt yet.
Oh, okay.
Until, you know, they got everything done, you know, like signed or whatever. He sent me a 17-page contract, which was all like, I've never. He went into detail, you know what I mean?
Page here.
Yeah, I was like, all right. So I made sure they're real professional, you know what I mean, which is cool. So they're real professional, you know what I mean. Made sure I had my medicals done here, you know, so they transferred to Hawaii. That was pretty cool. I didn't know that, you know, that everything transfers over.
Yeah.
And then they told me, you know, how would you like to fight for the scrap, man? We want to, you know, showcase against this guy, Brandon Piper. You know, he has 20 fights. You know, you're up there too. I was like, you know, I think it'll be a good fight. You know what I mean? I was like, you know what? I don't even know what or who he is, but I know it'll be a good fight. I was like, hell yeah! I was like, let's do it. You know what I mean? I was like, let me sign tomorrow or yesterday. You know what I mean? I was ready. So you know, when I didn't really do too much research on him, but you know, I knew that he was gonna be, you know, the hometown favorite, and finally, you know, looked him up a little bit. You know, has 20 fights. All his wins are like from knockouts or submissions. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, he's more of a striker, but he has some submission wins too. You know what I mean? So, anyway, so we fly out. You know what I mean? We get to San Jose Airport, fly out, man, having a blast already. I knew it was gonna be a vacation for my wife and Jacob Jeff, you know what I mean? They were having a blast. I don't know if anyone sees my Instagram stories, man. They were drinking in the middle of Waikiki, freaking everyone's all looking at them. By the time we got to the hotel, when I had Wayne's that day, like, they were wearing different people's shoes. I don't know what happened, you know what I mean? But it was a blast, you know? Yeah, I could hang out with them, you know, just like, they're just like family to me, you know what I mean? And,
You know, Jacob Jeff, anything could happen, bro.
Yeah, anything could happen. He does loose his little wild side, you know what I mean? Yeah, unless the Tajik Palace is watching, no, he didn't, nothing, he didn't. He was just professional out there, you know what I mean? He just went out there to make sure that I signed the right papers. But,
He didn't footlog any bellboys.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're out there, you know, weigh-in day, you know, went out there, and we had a little bit of fun, you know. It sucked, of course, you know, because I was cutting weight. But
How much weight did you have to cut?
Well, here's the thing, too. So I was cutting weight because it was at 55s, and I got there about I don't know, lie, man. I was like 170, 167, you know what I mean? But I was like fully hydrated, you know. At work, I have we have a water cooler.
Yeah.
So I'm just, you know what I mean? Like just chugging water, you know, making sure that I'm fully hydrated. So, you know, even if I, you know, go freaking lift the weight, I'm already sweating a lot because I want to cut my water from my water. I don't want to cut it from the organs.
Yeah.
You know, I've made that mistake cutting water too early, man, and you don't feel good. You know, that's one thing about in all these fights that I've made mistakes, and I'm barely now. You know, like, hey, I know I'm good. I'm experienced.
Been there before.
Yeah, I've been there before. So I cut about like, you know, like let's say 13 pounds, whatever.
Just 13 pounds.
Just 13. Well, I got to about like 159, you know what I mean? And I guess Jekka was texting with a promoter or something. I don't know what he was talking about. I was like, I started, if anyone knows me, when I cut like the last few pounds, I kind of get like in diva mode, you know what I mean? Like, I want to.
Yeah, that sounds like most fighters.
Call the promoter, it's all, you know what I mean? All dramatic, like, nah, you know. I only need 5 pounds, you know? So, whatever, but I know I'm always going to make weight, you know? That's one thing I try to do. So, I jumped back in the sauna, and then he's all like, how do you feel? I was like, all right, you know, not too bad. I got like 3 more, I'll make it. He's all like, all right, he's all, well, they texted me about 2 hours ago that I already agreed to that to 160 because other than I can't make weight. I'm like, oh, like, so you're going to make me cut all the way to, I was already at 158, you know what I mean? And I had 3 pounds to go. He's all like, so if you're feeling, you know, I just wanted to make weight to show him what's up. Yeah. And then he's all like, but I don't want you to hurt, you know what I mean? Because like I said, I took this on
at least they called you.
4 weeks notice. Yeah. And then, you know, 55 is, you know, I'm going up a weight class, but since I broke my nose my last fight, you know, I was inactive, and I don't know if you guys saw pictures of me. I got up to 202 pounds. That was the heaviest I've ever been in my life. You know, but I was, what I kept active is just like lifting weights and like jogging, but still, you know, just.
Dude, how did you get that heavy? Was it the rest dog?
It was,
honeymoon.
It was the wife cooking, man. It was the wife cooking and the doctor's note to not do nothing. Man. Yeah. You know what I mean? Then, you know what I mean? Then Chris is over here telling me fire stick. So I'm like, oh, yeah. Dude, like, damn.
You have everything.
Yeah.
Terrarium.
I haven't seen Castaway in years, you know what I mean? Like, so, yeah, so we get to fight after my weigh-ins, you know, finally I get to relax, you know, I don't care what it is, I'm enjoy it, you know, I'm not going to drink, but I'm enjoy it. So we go out to eat at this Italian restaurant that's the best in Hawaii. It was really good. The next day, man, we went to Waikiki Beach, and I was like, I don't care how tired I am, I'm going to play, you know what I mean? So, like, I went in the beach, and we were just freaking out there in the middle of the ocean, blue waters, man, just blue waters, you know what I mean, and freaking playing in the waves and stuff. And this is hours before my fight, you know what I mean. I'm like just getting like tired out, like I don't care, like how often are we gonna come here? The moment I knew that it was really cool is because we didn't go out there to swim, you know, we thought we were just gonna go walk around, but you know, my wife was in her full clothes. And then I turn around and she's getting in the beach just with pants and her top and everything. Like, yeah, like man, we're you know, I mean, we're having the time of our lives right now. You know, it's fun. So we go back, you know, get ready for the fight. There were some good fights, man. They started off with some kids. What they call it over there is before the amateurs, they have something called a triple threat, which is kind of like, I don't know if you guys remember Bully Beatdown. Oh, so what they do is 1 round is just kickboxing. 1 round is only striking punches with takedowns, and the 3rd round is just grappling only. And I guess, you know, whoever wins out of those 3.
Old school format.
Yeah, and the thing I like about them, you know, the Hawaiians are tough. There was no participation medals, you know, there was.
Hawaiians are tough.
I was like, man, you know that if a kid lost, the other one to raise the other kid's hand, give the other kid a medal, the other kid's crying, get out of the cage. I mean, try better next time. And the dads, man, they're tough on them. It's just a slightly different culture. You know what I mean? Like, you could tell, man, they're all.
They got a lot of heart.
They're all scrappers out there, man. They're all scrappers. So I'm like, all right, so, you know, I can't lie, I still get nervous. I'm like, oh,
now,
man.
Is this a co-main or main event?
I was the main event.
Oh, you're the main event?
Yeah, I was the main event.
Crazy.
So it's cool. You know, and then backstage, you know, I'm meeting people, and, you know, and they're like, oh, so what's your plan? All that. I don't know, I'm just going to fight him, and I don't know what's going to happen, man. That's just what I do. And then, you know, everyone's telling me, like, oh, you see that guy right there? Big old yo guy, he knocked him out cold, man. And then some other guy's like, oh, he's broken face and stuff. Like, whatever, man. Like, they can't be like the Valley fighters, you know what I mean? Like, I have a lot of fights, and I know everyone I fought is tough that, you know, could have broken my face too. So, you know what I mean? But, you know, the worst I walked away with was a broken nose. So, yeah, man. So finally, you know what I mean? Coleman goes out. Everyone's getting knocked out left and right, you know what I mean? So, you know, he's just, I can imagine how the gladiators felt back in the day. You know, you're just back there and like, oh, the fight's coming out. Then you hear,
you feel,
boom, whoa! Like, yeah, they're bloodthirsty, you know what I mean? Okay. So, you know, the fight comes out and I walk out and I just look around, no one's cheering for me except for my wife, you know. Yeah,
Jacob didn't
Yeah, I was saying,
Right back at you.
Jacob, he's just like,
Did he
forget
cheer?
this.
Yeah, I had to double check to make sure Jacob was behind me, you know what I mean? I was like, am I gonna have a
Like,
plan,
cheer
man?
too, man. Shoot.
I was like, so, I came out, you know, I walked out, you know, and his crowd was huge, man. He probably had like 300 people in the crowd, you know. I always, whenever, no matter who it is, my opponent always bow to the crowd first, you know what I mean, just to show them respect, you know what I mean. Not as a thing of fear, just like respect, you know what I mean, and whatever, you know. But they just looked at me with a cold blank stare, you know what I mean. And it's just the intensity how they were, you know. I'm not talking down on them or anything. So, but you know, he comes out, you know, he has like 18 cornermen, you know, a camera crew and everything, girls. I'm like, all right, you know what I mean, like
A big
whatever.
banner.
Yeah.
Sponsors
But
on
in
it.
my head, you know, I'm like, if anything now, you know, the pressure's more on him, man. I'm just here as, you know, they want me to get my butt whooped, and that's probably what they think, you know what I mean? They probably, I mean, seen
Brought you in.
some of my old videos, you know, where I used to get submitted and stuff, you know what I mean? But yeah, I've come a long way, man. I'm not the same guy, so I kind of knew in my head, I'm going to win this fight. So we go out, you know, touch gloves, bang a little bit, you know. I was like kind of worried about striking, but, you know, I rocked him. And then, you know, I heard Jacob like, oh, you got him. You know, he got all excited. I was like, no. So when I rocked him,
You got him.
he got really mad, you know, and I don't know if it's that called that
never been
experience,
hit
but maybe
before,
he
maybe.
he got mad and he rushed me. So I was like, boop, takedown, you know. I got him against the cage, and he was strong. You know, he started doing a little bit of these little hammer fists, you know. But I was like, all right, whatever, ain't hurting me. Until I locked up the, you know, when you lock your hands, man, I was like, gang, you know what I mean? I was thinking, I was like, should I pick him up and slam him? I was like, so I kind of picked him up, and then I was like, watch the neck, you know. So I do everything smart now. You know, I took him down. Once I had him on the ground, I was like, I have total control of this guy, you know what I mean? I'm a lot stronger, you know what I mean? Even though I weighed in less than him, you know, and I just waited. I knew what mistake he was going to make. That I wait for, you know, I won't say it because I see all the other 45-pounders, 55-pounders watching. And I sunk in the Darce choke, and as soon as I sunk it in, man, I knew it was the game. So I just waited, and I squeezed, and I heard the, you know what I mean? I don't know if it was his neck or his spine or something, and I was like, he has to tap, and he started tapping, but the ref was on the other side. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna let go, you know what I mean? I just squeezed harder until he started like frantically tapping, and then that's when the ref came in. I stood up like, yeah, and you could hear a pin drop. You could hear a pin drop. But except for my wife, you know, she's recording, you know, worst video ever, you know, worst video ever, man. You know what I mean? That's like, then when you got a video from the fight, I'm like, no, you don't even want to see the one that we do have. It's horrible.
It looks like there was an earthquake going on.
Yeah, the whole time. It looks like the volcano, the volcano erupted at that time. Man, but it was just her cheering me on and Jacob, you know, and then I go to bow to this crowd again, and they're just saying things at me. I don't even know what
Come
happened.
to our family luau.
Yeah.
Give me the address.
So whatever, you know, they give me the bell, you know, I'm on cloud 9. I'm like, hell yeah, I knew I'd do it, man. I was like, you know, and this one, I was for the Valley, you know what I mean? Like, this is not one for me, you know what I mean? I was like, this for the Valley, man, for Tachi fights, all the, you know, I have all the Valley fighters on my Facebook, man, coaches, everyone, and, you know, and they're all supporting me, so I was like, hell yeah, man. I felt like I had all of them on my back, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
do, man. We do
So,
have
I walked off there, and the first thing, you know, I'm met by this guy. He's like, hey, I'm Brandon's brother. I was like, oh, man.
Good for you.
Yeah, he thought. And then I thought he was going to be like, oh, good job. He's like, me and you next. I was like, whenever, man. I was like, well, whenever. You know what I mean? I'm excited, yeah. And then I was like, I got to get my wife out of here, man, because she's probably surrounded by, like, a lot of his, you know what I mean? A lot of his fans. So we went to the back, you know. We're still happy. It's just us three on cloud 9, you know what I mean? And the security guard comes back, big old Hawaiian guy, looks like the guy from Moana, you know what I mean? Long hair and stuff. And like tattoos there. He's like, hey brother, he's like, good job. He's all, we're gonna have you guys stay back here for a little bit, you know what I mean? He's like, don't worry about it. He's like, that's just how us Hawaiians are, man. We're real passionate. I was like, oh no, man. And I'm like, I know it's just like that, man. It's just, it would probably be like that back home, you know, if he flew over there and knock me out or something, you know, he probably get some shoot out by my, you know what I mean, by my little gangster homies or something, you know what I mean, like, it's all good, man, it's nothing but love, you know what I mean, all the people were awesome, don't get me wrong. So we're back there waiting, and so we call our Uber driver, man, and our Uber driver, you know, they tell you, like, what kind of car is coming up, so they come there, what kind of car is it, you know, it's like a Honda Accord, I don't remember what it was, all right, give me the phone. And they're all, okay, well, what color is it? We're going to have them pull them over here. And then it took a while. Then we got out right, and they had us get in the car. You know, it had the belt, man. We're like, yeah, just 3 guy parties all. He's like, what happened? He's like, that was the most intense pickup I've ever had, ever. He was hecka spooked. He's like, they called me. They had me verify my license plate. They told me to park around the side. Then they told me to come park by the van. Flash my lights twice to make sure it was them. I was like,
I think that was a drug deal going on.
Yeah. He's like, I didn't know what was going on. And then I was like, we told him the story, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you know, his fans were just angry. And
You got whole Hawaii.
he's from a place called Waianae. So I guess that's where Max Holloway's from. So they're like a really small community, but just real proud of their fighters. You know what I mean? Like just really proud of their fighters. You know, they're the ones that when Max flew back, they had the whole town out there. You know what I mean? So he's not at that level, you know, the UFC champion, but you know they still see him as their hometown hero. So that's what I learned. You know what I mean? I learned a little bit of Hawaiian culture, man. It was cool. So you know what I mean?
So let me just guess, they didn't invite you to the luau after?
No, but we found out of all the things to do in Hawaii, we went to Irish pub. Yeah, because it was the only thing open. By the time that I fought, it was like already past 11, and the time they let us out, it was like 12. You know what I mean? And then you know, so we went home, dressed or whatever, you know, and then we're like, well, let's do something. We're in Hawaii, so we went to first we went to their Chinatown, where I guess the bars are really fun. And I guess their legal drinking age is 18. And I was like, so I don't need my IDs. I know a lot of young people try to sneak in the bars. I was like, yes, okay. Now I know why. Because we went there and it looked like a bunch of 16-year-olds drinking. I was like, okay, this is not our area. So we went to Waikiki Beach. And there was an Irish pub there. The only thing open. And there was also a professional volleyball tournament there, like with people from like the Netherlands and Brazil. So there's a bunch of tall freaking volleyball player dudes, and you know what I mean? Like they're all there just hanging out, and we're just all sharing stories, having fun, man. And then on the way home, you know, carrying the belt, you know, a bunch of like the TSA was taking pictures of it, you know, telling them the story. There's even one person at the airport that she knew. Everybody knows this guy, Brian Piper. You know, she was like, "Oh, I was there." She's like, "I'm still upset, but congratulations." I was like, "Yeah." She probably charged me double for our souvenirs, but you know what I mean. But other than that, man, it was a blast. You know what I mean? One of the best times of my life, man. I'm glad that I got to bring it home. You know what I mean? And like I said, man, this was for the Valley. You know, all the Valley fighters are on my Facebook. You know, all the touchy fighters. Amateur 559, man, we all, you know, we're tough guys out here, man. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna be no easy fights for nobody. I knew
Nothing else to do out here.
Yeah, the fight. So I knew I wasn't gonna be no walkover for no one, man. I knew I was bringing home that belt. You know what I mean? And that was it, man.
Well, if for some reason need another corner guy, you know,
Yeah.
I like your boy.
the next one, man.
Good
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Need a couple corner guys?
Let's go, man.
Hopefully they haven't defended. If not, all of a sudden it's gonna be vacant. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Some
So
security?
with all that being said, which is a hell of an experience, what's next, man? Anything local that we should know of?
Oh
yet?
man, so
Here?
I don't have anything lined up yet, man. But if anything, this just lit an even bigger fire under my ass. You know what I mean? That I'm just still only getting better, man. You know what I mean? Like 30 fights. But like if you guys know, they threw us in the Lions Den back then, man. There was no amateurs back then, man. Our first fight was pro. My second fight was a black belt in Hollywood on TV. You know,
Yeah.
from then, you know, I won like my next 3 fights, and I fought, you know, Casey Olsen college. There was no me getting used to progressing. You know what I mean? I learned as I went. You know what I mean? And you know, yeah, I've had my ups and downs. You know, but I feel like I'm ready for almost anyone. You know what I mean? And I think I'm gonna stay at 45s. You know, like my last loss, you know, is because I went up to 160. You know what I mean? There's no excuse, man. You know, I lost to Tony Yamas. You know, he's a freaking gamer. He's tough. You know what I mean? Freaking broke my nose with a back elbow from. I had him like on the ground and somehow threw a back elbow, and that's what broke my nose and couldn't breathe. I was dying. So he's a tough guy, man. You know what I mean? But if you look back before that, you know, all my last 4 fights were at 45s. I all won them in the first round. You know what I mean? First round submissions, all of them. So
Are you still comfortable making 45?
comfortable is not a word, but but I can make it. I can make it. You know what I mean? Because I came down to 55s, and that was just from 5 weeks of eating clean. You know, me and my wife got on a very clean diet. You know what I mean? One thing she does, she supports me with my clean eating, and you know, I made weight. You know, I was already 158, but I made weight. He was the one that couldn't make weight. So I know if I, you know, stay at it, you know, just live the clean lifestyle, I can make 45s whenever. You know what I mean? Just give me a little bit of a heads up. You know, at least a few weeks, and you know, I'm ready for any of these 45ers in the valley. I mean, who's to say, you know, nothing's impossible, man.
So-
I'd love to grab another belt, you know, even the Tachi belt.
Where does this belt sit? Does it sit on a mantle? Is it in your closet? Is it under your bed? Where does this belt?
Oh man, it hides. I can't tell no one where it is. But what I want to do is I want to buy a glass case for it and put like, cause I've never done nothing cool like that, man. I've seen people that just, you know, they have like one fight and they frame their shorts and I'm like, man, I don't do any of that. Like, I'm missing out. You know what I mean? Like, what am I gonna show my
Live
kids?
it up, man.
Yeah,
Come
what am
on.
I gonna show my kids? So at least this, you know what I mean? Like, I want to buy like a little. I hit up Fernando Ariola from Bakersfield, you know, because
Fernie, yeah.
he's a little jiu-jitsu belt collector, man, and he told me that they have glass cases at Michael's. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna put
Do
my.
you get the app 40% off?
Yeah, there we go. So he good. Thank you for telling me that. You know what I mean? 'Cause, I mean, so I'm gonna put like my fight shorts from. I kept my hand wraps, you know, and just try to make a cool little display, you know, and at least just have that for, you know, when I retire and my grandkids don't believe that I used to fight. That way I can show them that, you know. That way I won't have to choke them out to show them. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. Other than that, man, it was great. You know what I mean? And you know, Tachi Pal sponsored me to fly out my wife and Jacob. That way I wouldn't have to pay her for her.
Did that organization pay for you at least?
They paid for me. They paid for my room. They were very helpful, man. I lost my mouthpiece. Well, my baby son hid my mouthpiece, and then you know he helped me. He paid for my mouthpiece. He paid for my Hawaiian license, you know, out there. And yeah, man, Gino Castanetti and Bob O, you know, from
What was the name of that organization? Is that it?
Trinity Sport Combat. You know, they're on their 5th show, so it's kind of brand new, you know what I mean? But man, the turnout was great, man. They had a lot of people there.